Once again, it is William Huey Jensen versus Carlos Romao, a battle of the world champions here at the Mythic Invitational. Let's take a look at the opening hands. Pretty nice one here for Huey. Anything he would rather have or not have in this hand?
Well, a second Phyrexian tower is not necessarily ideal, although it can ramp you very quickly. But yeah, that other tower just being a mountain, I think, is what you would really want. But yeah, otherwise, this is a pretty solid Goblins hand here.
It is at that as we get things underway here. Both players just getting their early plays down. Wily Goblin on the battlefield, generating that treasure token. Shark Typhoon off the top of the library there for Carlos Romao and Muxus. There we go. Now
there
it's a party.
It is.
In hand for Huey.
One thing Carlos Romao would love to see here was just that second green source to start getting these Night Pack Ambushes going.
Yep.
But being able to cast Chemister's Insight here, not too bad to set up the next turn.
Or, alternatively, we could make a big ol' shark. Well, it's a 2/2. It's not the biggest shark. It's just a baby shark. Goblin Chieftain going to eat the dust, unfortunately. And no more hasty threats.
Probably a kindergartner shark. 2/2.
Yep.
That seems about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's that green source for Ambusher, though. That's huge.
Oh, yeah. So that's going to sound off some alarm bells there for Huey. As he knows that that is a big old goblin eater is the Night Pack Ambusher.
But here, look at this. You even saw Carlos kind of clench his teeth a little bit. Right now, I mean, the window is open to cast Muxus right now. If Huey has the read that there's no way to interact with it, in which right now, we might see our first Muxus if Huey goes for it. Oh!
He's doing it! We're doing it! Muxus Goblin Grandy! Gonna hit the
Buckle
battlefield.
up, chat.
Here we go. How many do we hit? Woo!
Oh!
And Cranko, yes please! Let's go!
Anybody who has not seen Muxus in action, this is the reason why Goblins is so powerful. It is just so very strong here. Even eliminating the haste, you still get the Cranko activation first, and it's going to be really tough to deal with without a Magma Quake here.
Oh man, our dreams are dashed seeing a Muxus come down and just end the game there and then. But yes, Carlos Romao having that abrade, getting rid of the haste maker, the Lord. And now he's able to start mounting some defenses here with the Night Pack Ambushes. Does have a neutralize in case of, I don't know what he wants to neutralize, but yeah, he's gonna have to get some things in the way here of these goblins.
Yeah, we see the screen change color a little bit up Carlos' side. I think that's just him about to click that concede button because it is very tough to come back from, like I said, without that Magma Quake.
Yep, that would be so good right now, but unfortunately not in hand there. And he doesn't look happy.
Doesn't look happy, but here I want to point out one thing about William Huey Jensen, one of the greatest players of all time, just slowing down in these positions where it looks like he is just in an unlosable, position, and just slows down and thinks, okay, what could he have that he wouldn't cast? Some players just speed up, they're like, I got him, I'm gonna take him down, but Huey slows down in these positions, and I love that from him.
Oh yes, Goblin Matron now being cheated out with the Phyrexian Tower is going to go and find... What are we looking for? Goblin Chieftain, yes. I love it. Here comes Goblin Chieftain down on the battlefield. Everything gets enormous and Carlos Romao wants none of that.
Well, that is why Muxus is king of the goblins here, because that was some impressive work there from William Huey Jensen.
Oh yes. Muxus Goblin Grandy just showing how incredibly powerful it is. Carlos was able to stave off lethal in that very first turn, but unfortunately not being able to do so the next. Just so much value on that battlefield. It's insane.
And honestly, that was a very calculated risk from William Huey Jensen. If that Muxus ran into a neutralizer or something, all of a sudden he sacrificed one of his goblins and that treasure token from Wily Goblin. That's a lot of resources that you're just giving away for something to get countered. So a very nice risk that Huey took, and it paid off huge. I don't think I would have pulled the trigger on that, to be honest. I don't think I would have had it in me, so that's why I'm not a world champion, huh?
You gotta risk it for the biscuit sometimes, and the biscuit paid off.
Could have said it better myself, Alias.
Alright, so what are the last final tweaks here that Huey's going through?
Yeah, this is a tricky one. This is definitely not a matchup that Huey is prepared to play against. And to put it on the flip side, Carlos Romao is very prepared in this matchup. So that is a nice tricky dynamic here when you're playing this kind of cool new deck like Carlos Romao is versus the deck with the biggest target on its head like Huey Jensen is.
All right, well, here we go. Game number 2. Take a look at the opening hands. Chieftain, Krenko, Muxus. You're pretty happy with that. If one of those mountains was a Skirk Prospector, I think that would have been a snap keep there. Ooh, Magma Quake, Braid, and Explore. So we can ramp, and then we can blow up players' stuff at instant speed. Aw.
Yes, okay, that is definitely more what you want to see. Unfortunately, a mulligan. So Carlos Romao is very much hoping to see a couple lands off the top with that Explore.
There we go.
Yeah. One thing I want to point out, I think this is absolutely hilarious and something I don't think I've ever seen in any big tournament like this, where Mountain is the most played card of the weekend. That is awesome.
I do like to see all the different styles of mountains, though. If everyone just goes for the stock standard, whatever Arena gives you, or if we tailor it to our personal preferences as we get things going here with Goblin Chieftain in.
What's your land of choice? Do you like the full art ones, or?
Oh yes, I love full art all the time, every day. Give me those. And Sam Burley's Theros lands. Those are beautiful.
Oh yes, I love those.
There's goblins
as well.
attacking. In for 6. Will we see a Magma Quake?
Magma Quake does cleanly deal with this board, even though Krenko is a 4/4. It will lose a toughness when Goblin Chieftain dies. Chooses to go a different route here. With the Ambusher.
Yeah, I kind of like this. Get the Ambusher down.
Yeah, because Magma...
blockers.
Exactly, and you can always Magma Quake for 3 to make sure that you stay Ambusher.
Yeah.
But look at this. This could be... Oh, okay.
Oh, hello. Okay.
Oh.
Well, that... Ooh, okay. This is going to be nasty. So, if Huey doesn't read that there's removal... This Gem Palm Incinerator is gonna whiff.
Yeah, he can make Krenko Goblins in response, so he can actually Gem Palm for 8 here. But yeah, if he would have just fired this off for 4 on that Ambusher, then play another Ambusher, that is the worst case scenario.
Yep, Krenko adding to the tokens when the coast was clear with the second Ambusher on the stack. Still has to deal with these wolves though, and an impending Magma Quake. But that's next turn's problem.
So here's the hardest position when you're playing against these Goblin decks. It's right now, look at the board. You know, Krenko is a must-answer threat. It carries on and it scales so well. You know, you're adding more and more Goblins each turn. So right now, that has to be dealt with at some point. And then whenever it is dealt with, Huey just gets to go, okay, Muxus. So that's what makes these Goblin decks so tough to play against, because they have a great early game and a very robust late game as well.
Yeah. Huey is certainly making more tokens than Carlos Romao's Wolf is at this point.
Yeah, no kidding.
Goblin Ringleader finds some extra friends.
Wolf Pack, let's talk about Goblin Packs here, huh?
Oh, yeah. There's like a population problem here. Where are they hiding all these goblins? That's what I want to know. Can you imagine playing this in paper with the amount of goblin tokens? Like, you would have a whole commander deck size worth of just goblin tokens.
Or Dice is going to be your best friend. I think that would have to be the route.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right. So what is Carlos Romao's plan here? When is he going to fire off this Magma Quake, Corey?
I think right now. I think you have to do it right now. You untap with a 4/4, and you attack, and you try to find answers to Huey's hand. But, I mean, Huey is just full of gas here. This mulligan is not doing Carlos Romao any favors. But what do? Just let William Huey Jensen make 10 goblins at end step? No. Like, you're dead. Yeah. I mean, so I think what Carlos is thinking right now is, can I afford to just abrade Krenko? And decides, no, that's not a winning line.
No, because then he just in response would make a whole bunch of tokens again, and then boom, you're dead, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so still has some defenses. Can fire off Muxus, Goblin Grandy now. See what we find of the top 6 cards of the library, and hope like heck that there's not an insane amount of cards coming up.
And we have perfect information, so we know that Muxus is great, but once again, is Huey going to pull the trigger? And it's like Huey has perfect information as well. He just plays so great. And honestly, what Huey is recognizing, he's like, if I don't play Muxus, can I beat this board? And he decides, you know what, no, I can't. So I might as well aim high and try to win with the very, very powerful 6-drop.
Yeah, no haste, unfortunately, for Huey, as Carlos does have a braid to deal with Krenko Mob Boss. And we'll do that right now.
Yeah, I mean, compare the Muxuses that the Muxai, I'm not sure, of what we saw last game, the Muxies, yes. We compared the last Muxus to this one, and this was just much less powerful. But that Krenko was a nice pickup.
Oh, yes, and this is going to be rather painful as we see Goblin War Chief into Krenko, Mob Boss, all hasty, let's go. Digging through
That's
with
a
Gross
lamb!
We can explore, but that doesn't help.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it would help. No, I know. We're in a bit of a pickle here, is Carlos Romao. These wolves are good at blocking, and we won't see an attack here just yet from Huey. Ooh, boy.
And we can't explore because it is a sorcery, so it's interesting that Carlos is just valuing the wolf over an extra card. I just don't think a wolf does anything against this wide board of goblins. I feel like you just have to cast it and hope to, you know, at this point you absolutely have to try to find another Magma Quake, but before, explore early to try to find like a neutralize or something like that could have come in handy.
Finds an Abrade, so that'll deal with the Krenko problem. So didn't want to go for that the Explorer to get the second wolf.
Yep.
Excuse me, to get the wolf token generated. Abrade takes care of Krenko. Still plenty goblins though to deal with.
Yeah, I think just these 2 goblins, we have 4 blockers, and we're gonna have 5, 6, 7 attackers, and they're all gonna be 2/2s or bigger. So as long as Huey once again goes for it, this is exactly lethal. Okay, this is 1 extra than lethal. This is 15 damage. Oh yeah, if anybody at home thought Muxus was good and didn't fully read the card, it has another ability where it gets even bigger when it attacks, thanks to its other goblin friends.
Yep. The more, the merrier for Muxus Goblin Grandee as it sits at 15-15. That's a buttload of damage coming through though, as we are going to see William Huey Jensen pick up another clean victory there, just throwing all caution to the wind. These gobbos want to go fast, they want to go face, and that is the place for Huey Jensen. Goodness me, makes it look easy.